Well, myself, Dr. Shubhashish Shorkar. Actually, I'm in a teaching profession and specifically in the domain of microbiological science. Here I am to give my personal view on behalf of the students who are growing and expanding their perception for education. Actually, education is a term which cannot be defined in a frame. Rather, I would say it's comprised of various components, ways, and philosophies. For example, education is classified as realization of a fact, of a process, etc. It is actually the in-depth understanding through which you can perceive your own idea about a particular topic. Very honestly speaking, this understanding varies from individual to individual. And indeed, it results in promoting the philosophy of a person and helps for their own personality development. I can quote the very famous statement given by the eminent scientist Albert Einstein is that we teachers cannot educate the students unless we provide a proper environment where student will automatically learn. So we have to think about the learning process. There are different methods of teaching. Yes, of course, we all know about different teaching methodologies. It's absolutely fine. But at the same time, we have to think about the learning process also, because the students, they are the learner. They actually will understand what will be provided by the teacher. So a teacher is a kind of guide who always will try to give the shape and proper pathway to the student where they will be channelized to learn to think differently, to improve their understanding depth, to nurture their knowledge. Now come to another portion, is how we can measure the effective teaching methods. At present condition, as our universe is growing very rapidly and the scientific development is going very fast, therefore at different places there is a huge diversity in accession of different kind of technology based tools which is supposed to be implicated in education technology as an education technology tool. Therefore, few points to be noted over here is the student learning process should be in a collaborative way, where student can think about research work, where a project will be defined for a student based on their own topic of choice. They can think about and implicate their theoretical knowledge for something innovative. That's a very important point. Next, come to another section is good communication. Nowadays, the world is growing very fast, and a student or a learner must communicate. Their skill of communication should be very under priority, because they have to communicate with the learned person, with other people who can give some knowledge, who can share something to the student, and this can possible when a strong collaboration can be established between and among different institutions. So it will also focus on diversified institutional collaboration. Next, come to the students matter. It's very important to think and to ask, to raise their question every time. This is called thinking ability of student. So the thinking ability, or like creativity, raise due to the nature of raising questions. So it's very important. So every time try to invoke the students' inner knowledge, so that they can raise something, just to give some thing stimuli, so that student can respond, or student can think about, or student can ask something. This is very important. When a student is asking every time, it means he has a kind of creative thinking ability. Choose those students. That's very important. Next, come to another point is the creativity. The creativity, from my own perspective, I believe that creativity is nothing but it's connecting different thoughts, when make a good resonance, it can form a good innovation. So this is called creativity. And one important point that should never be ignored is the choice of a student is largely varied, because every students are coming from different areas, different cultures, different communities, so their way of thinking is different. But most of the cases we find that nowadays students are very much fascinated towards electronic gadgets, towards spending time with their friends, towards they are very much focused on spending times in cafeteria. They used to love to spend time in social networking. So these are the different sectors where students spend their time. So the teachers or the policymakers of education system, they must think about all those choices of students. So we have to invade into those domains of students' choices. Like social media, students used to do social media every time, so we have to invade into the social media. We have to use social media as a weapon, as a strong weapon for teaching and learning process. So we have to develop the mechanism through which we can teach our student, so that we can connect our students continuously, because students are every time, most of the time, they are staying at the social network platforms. So we can use, the teachers can use the social network platform so as to be connected with the students. When a teacher is being connected with the students, the student will be definitely under the grip of this teacher, because the teacher is connected. And if we can give or imbibe something every time, the student's mind somehow cannot be diverted from their baseline. So their main objective of studentship is to learn, to implicate their knowledge, to build up their communication skill, to make them confident to sustain in this competitive world. Altogether, these philosophies and all these strategies has to be implicated in different words of educational sectors. If we can successfully implement all these things, then only education system can be established properly. An education system that would be the proper education system. So the student will learn, the student will really learn something, and they will do something in future. That's the thing. That's why we must raise the quality. We have to invoke, or we have to extract the quality. We have to understand the quality or potential of the students. So to express their potential prominently, it's our responsibility, the responsibility of the global teacher pool. So if we are failed, if we cannot do our job, then we will not be successful in our aim. So as a teacher, it's our responsibility. We all together have to think about this, and strategically we have to develop our students' skill. This is very important, to develop the skill of student, through which we can make students as the potential candidate. Every students will be potential candidate of this country, and the country will be strong enough when each and every individual will be an effective measure of a country, an effective voice or an effective person, contributing person for our nation. So through this, saying all these things, I end up my own perspective. Thank you so much for listening me.